In 2007, 60-year-old Michael Dick was living in Bow, East London with his wife and two daughters. But that year, something really started to bother him. 10 years prior, Michael had split up with his first wife. His ex-wife and the daughter they had together, her name was Lisa and she was 21 at the time, those two stayed in the family home in Sudbury, England, and Michael moved south about an hour and a half to Bow. The divorce had been quite messy, and so Michael had not only lost touch with his ex-wife, he had also lost touch with Lisa. And so fast forward 10 years back to 2007, and Michael and Lisa had not spoken since the divorce, and Michael found himself suddenly feeling this unbelievable wave of grief. He decided that he had to go find Lisa. He didn't know where Lisa lived, he didn't have her contact information, and he didn't know where his ex-wife was. However, he did have the street address of where they used to live in Sudbury, England. So in August of that year, Michael and his two other younger daughters, they hopped in the car, and when they got there, Michael navigated to his old street, and then he alone hopped out of the car and he walked up to the front door. When the door opened, it was not Lisa, it was not his ex-wife, it was some other family that he didn't know, and they didn't know Lisa or his ex-wife. The trio just kind of began driving around Sudbury, half looking for Lisa out on the streets. They come to the realization that their best bet at finding Lisa is putting some sort of story in the local newspaper that hopefully she would see, and then she would contact Michael. And so they drove to the headquarters of the local paper, the Suffolk Free Press. The reporter thought, you know what, this is actually a pretty interesting story, and I'd be happy to do a small feature on you guys. At the same time that Michael was beginning his search for Lisa, Lisa was actually beginning to think, you know what, I want to go find my dad. Lisa was now 31 years old. She had 3 kids of her own. She was married. She had moved out of Sudbury to a neighboring town. One day in August, she was at her office and she was in the break room and she saw a copy of the Suffolk Free Press sitting out on the coffee table. And she began flipping through the pages, and then suddenly she stopped when she saw a picture of herself. She saw her and her mother walking along the streets of Sudbury. She had been in Sudbury just a couple of days ago to talk to her mom about finding her dad, and then Lisa glanced at the caption for this photo. The man and the 2 girls who were the main focus of this photo that Lisa was in were her father and her 2 stepsisters. She just didn't recognize them. She just saw herself in the back of this photo. After being apart for over a decade, on the only day that Lisa happened to be in Sudbury, she was literally 100 feet behind her father and her stepsisters as they were looking for her. Lisa would, of course, read the article and get her father's contact information, and today he and Lisa are still in touch.